Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the Real Talk Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey, right here on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Sudi. I did survive my suicide attempt after the Flyers lost to Washington yesterday. Right on over here.
Whoa.
Brodo just hit a wall. Assigned guy Ryan Brodo, when he's not running into things, is in charge of the ones and twos back there. Meanwhile, over here is the Dark Wing Brian Daly.
I was on the wrong side. I couldn't deal with it.
And then on this,
I like it on this side. I don't know.
I can't do it. I just can't do it.
you're more of that. That's the hand.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one. Gotcha.
I'm confused. Actually, you know what? I don't want to know.
Anyway,
I'm
lonely soul talk. Anyway, moving on.
I don't
This
have that
is
problem.
Yes, you are.
the dark. Yeah. This is the Penguin lover, Mikey Klankoff.
Here I am.
And we are brought to you by Skizano Sports. They're located at 5 Carnegie Plaza, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.skizanosports.com.
That was vicious.
That was vicious. I'm not exactly in the greatest of moods today, unfortunately, because, every single fucking time we get this close, the Flyers just decide to say, hey, I know you really would like us to win. And I know you'd really like us to actually make an underdog run and challenge the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Penguins and Montreal for the last spot in the wild card. But you know what? I got a better idea. You know what's better than winning? Losing. Losing and losing royally to the point where everyone questions what the fuck did we even try for in the first place?
Yeah.
That is what's better than winning. My ass. But anyway, still, that's exactly what the Flyers did yesterday. They lost badly, and they barely managed to come back in the third period to score 3 goals, and they couldn't even complete the comeback.
Well, I mean, it's hard to come back after being
Yes,
down
it is hard to come
5-0.
back after 5-0.
So, I mean, you gotta give it to the team that, they didn't quit on the game. They fought back once Talbot came in. I mean, he let up a goal and 2 shots, but other than that, I mean, he played solid for the rest of the game, and, he ultimately got this team to fight back for a chance. They scored 3 goals early in the third period, and it's like, this actually could be a game now, but, and that's where the game ended, was 5-3. But overall, I mean, it's just out of the gate, the Flyers just look like crap,
They did.
That's
They did.
That's the best way to say it, is that they just look like crap.
They did. They fucking did. Meanwhile, how the Ducks doing, Brian?
Did you watch the game last night?
What? The Washington game?
No.
Oh,
Ducks
no.
and
I didn't
Blues.
watch Anaheim.
You have a lead with 2 minutes left in the game, and you give up 2 goals in 12 seconds.
Ooh.
Oh, they lost, by the way.
Oh, the Ducks did?
Uh-huh.
Surprise, huh?
I hate you.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's why I'm wearing an older jersey. Brings me back to an easier time. A better time.
Same. Oh, other side. There it is. Sorry.
What better time? Shut
hate
the
you.
fuck up. It's not a
It was a better time.
It's not
I
like
hate
it's
you.
5 or 10 fucking years ago. Jesus.
It was 2.
2. Wow. Wow,
Where was that?
fucking unbelievable. He had to
It
wait
doesn't even
2
give a year on
years
it?
for
Nah,
fuck's
this shit.
sake.
No, it's right here.
Christ.
Oh, this is the 3-year-old one.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Still, like,
It's been 12 years since my last championship.
Well, if we were talking baseball, I'd be fucked. So,
Fair enough, but we're not talking.
that is
Yeah.
true, actually. But it's not baseball hour.
And the Nets.
It's not football hour. And it damn sure ain't basketball hour. It's the hockey happy hour.
Yeah, we are not talking basketball.
Yeah, and tragically,
Thank God.
unfortunately, we're talking about hockey in the city of Philadelphia. But, Christ. So the Flyers lost 5-3, in case no one figured that one out by now. And if you did, good job. You know what you earned? Nothing, because that's exactly
nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. With that,
great line.
the Flyers are now unable to climb any closer to the spot that Columbus had, and unfortunately Columbus won a game and therefore bumped up to 77 points. We stayed at 72, so we're behind them by 5 still.
But in a sense, tonight, the Penguins kind of helped you,
They
but kind of didn't, because the Penguins won, but yet Columbus lost. So, I mean, you're fighting for that that wild card spot at this point. So
We are, but the problem is that Columbus, like, we lost our last game. So now it's like, well, fuck. If Columbus winds up playing the same day we happen to play and we win, but they win too, like,
it's a stalemate. Yeah.
who cares? It doesn't fucking matter at all now, does it?
Yeah. I believe, I don't know if it's tomorrow night or the day after, but the Penguins play Columbus again. I believe they play Saturday because I think they have a back-to-back Saturday and then they play Sunday night. Boston's in Pittsburgh that night. So Sunday night game there, which will be a fun one to watch. It should be an entertaining game. So
For some.
finally getting some players back. Surprisingly, Dumo's back before Letang. He played in the last game that we had, and he played again tonight. So I mean, he's back on the ice, which is great for the Penguins defense. I mean, right now I would say that he is our leader on defense with Letang out. I mean, otherwise, I always think he's our second best defenseman anyway, but he's been playing good, so I'm happy to have him back. But we're still missing big piece in Brian Russ, so hopefully he gets back if we make it to the playoffs. I'm not going to say when, I'm going to say if.
It's a guarantee you're going to make it.
There's still
and I'm hoping
15
the more I
games
say
to go. So
see, here's the thing: the more I say that it's a guarantee that they'll make the playoffs, maybe I'll be able to counteract
I'm
it,
with you
and they'll
on that.
actually miss. I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, though, if you guys miss with Sidney Crosby, that's kind of embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. That would be embarrassing a little.
We
bit.
have missed the playoffs before with him. And
Well,
we've
that
been
was
a first-round exit a lot of times, too. So,
Well,
I mean,
the first round exit's one thing, but missing the playoffs with Sidney Crosby
Yeah.
is a big fucking deal.
it's just
like
there was a lot of mistakes. Like, we lost a lot of good pieces in the offseason, and then this trade for Derek Brassard was just – it set them back. To me, I think it did. Brassard never worked out for us. In the 50 games that he played with us, he scored 9 goals. Just overall, it was a big waste. Again, we lost Ian Cole. We lost Ryan Reeves. We lost probably one of the best goalie prospects other than Carter Hart and Gustafson. And, then we go on and lose Connor Sheary to a trade to Buffalo.
did you say Hart?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying as in, like, prospects coming into this year. Obviously, he's in the league now, but I'm saying Carter Hart is one of the better.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was
no.
going to say, I thought you were saying like he was on the Penguins.
No,
I'm like,
no.
what?
No, I'm saying overall goal is
Okay. Got me there. All right.
I think he's with Toronto now. Philip Gustafson, I believe what his name is, but he was one of those goalie prospects that were.
Grubauer,
No, not Grubauer.
Colorado.
No. He I forget where he went and where he's at now, but I'll look that up.
All right.
I'm gonna
Well,
look
while
that
you
up.
do that, I'm gonna get to some of these comments here on Facebook Live. We
Go
got
right
a lot
ahead.
rolling in. We got Tom Arnone chiming in. My boys, great talk 2 minutes ago. We're launching an A2D dating service. Those poor women. David Roscoe, what's up, Mike? What's up, boys? Ducks got stunned. To say the least.
We got Brodo here doing things. He's doing stuff for the Matrix. Anyway, let the sign guy do what the sign guy does. Continue.
Yeah, Jesse Thompson, TK chirping. I love TK chirping. He's a little ball of energy, and I think he's going to be such a huge asset to this team once he gets into his prime. Frank Vespi chimes in with, "Hey yo, sorry to bother you. # banana heads at work. Honestly, no. I had the Flyers as a wild card team in the beginning of the season. Gives them the offseason to get the young guys loaded on # Ryan Scello, figure out the coaching situation and patch up during free agency."
Please keep on doing that comment. It is just so great every time.
It's so gross.
Okay,
It's
I don't even wanna think
hilarious.
about it.
real quick, Gustafson is playing for Ottawa right now. He's not in the league yet, but he's
in their AHL
yeah.
team. Okay, cool. David Raska continues to say, "My Ducks will get Quinville. Flyers will be in the postseason," which
I would like to
I'm
say.
hopeful for the first. I really am.
What? You're not hopeful that the Flyers will make the playoffs? Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. You're just. Boy, man, you are really in a mood
But it's
today.
not gonna be a disappointment if they don't make it,
No, honestly.
especially after the way the year started.
And realistically, yes. If the Flyers do wind up missing, but they were close, it's like, well, I can't say that it was a bad year because when you think about it, I mean, they had one of the worst first halves ever in the history of the Flyers. Not just maybe even the NHL. It was that bad. So it's like when you're also matching an NHL goal of how many or record of how many goalies started in a season, yeah, you're gonna miss. It's like it's kind of one of those things.
All right, we got Greg Malakovich chiming in. My boys. While yes, I would love some playoff hockey this season. The start was very tough to overcome. I think they are playing very well now and definitely figured out the goalie situation. So it'll suck missing the playoffs, but not a major disappointment to me.
Good.
I feel the same way.
Because the question on the Twitter poll was, would this season technically be a disappointment if the Flyers don't make the playoffs? A simple yes or no answer will suffice. If you wish to give your reasons, feel free to.
Absolutely. Rob Povia says, "What's up, boys? Fuck Ovi."
I agree. I think we all could agree on that one.
Yeah.
And also fuck Crosby. And now we continue.
He finally reached the milestone of 1,200 points.
Yeah, I saw that.
So pretty solid
congratulations
there.
to him on that.
Crosby passed Ovechkin in points. Ovechkin's now 4 points behind Crosby with 3 away from 1,200 as well. So pretty crazy stats for both players.
Yeah, especially
Ovechkin's-
how young they are.
Yeah, Ovechkin, think about it too. He has 150 games more on Crosby, and Crosby passed him in points. Just saying what kind of player Crosby is.
Steve Krasowski says, "Hi, boys. What's going on, Steve?"
Yo, what up, Steve?
You had to say.
I'm just saying.
You
I gotta
just
come
dig into the Capitals fans.
So this comment's more for you.
on. Okay.
Matthew McGowan, when it comes to playing D, actual D, 8 is the best we have.
Yes, absolutely. And I totally agree with that. Big time is he's more of that stay-at-home defenseman. He could score 4 or 5 goals a year, which is more than enough to me from a defenseman, other than obviously Letang, who should be scoring like 10, 11, because he's a forward, really, just playing defense. But overall, big time, I would say Dumo is the best defensive defenseman on that team, or defenseman,
Steve is he's gonna comfort you a little bit.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna let you know the Pens will be fine.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. I hope so. I know a lot of people around here, probably the 3 that are in this room other than me, don't want that to happen, but
Well, I don't know. Brian the jury's out on him right now. But for me and
As far
Brodo,
as
yeah,
what
we can
goes.
safely say that we're not necessarily hoping the Penguins do all that well. But that's just me and Brodo, I would assume. So
I'm whatever. I'm gonna just
it's
move on.
about whether or not people wish for the Penguins to do good or not. I don't know if you wish for them to do good or not.
It depends who they're playing. Rob Brinkman says the Penguins are lucky the Flyers lost all those games in late December and early July. Not a vintage Penguins team. He also says, and this is kind of, I don't agree with this Stanley Cup Finals, Columbus versus San Jose.
no way.
The San Jose
Nah.
one is
Columbus has to
way,
get there
way-
first.
Columbus has to first
Columbus
of all
is
get
a
out of the
bubble
first
team.
round.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Columbus.
I'm not concerned about Columbus getting there. I'm worried about Columbus getting out of the first
But
round.
here's the thing, though. Columbus, they did drastically improve their team, and they have continuously improved their team. So I can't. And also, Bobrovsky is a top goalie.
Mind a
so
healthy scratch
if,
tonight.
Well, if he could get health, well,
Yeah, he was
he is
late to
healthy.
practice or something like that.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
why he said no.
he's got a bad reputation with the team right now, and again, it was a guy that we talked about with the deadline that came up. Was he going to be a guy to move?
What?
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky,
Yeah,
yeah.
Korpisalo started tonight for
Yeah, but
Columbus, so
But
it's
still, it doesn't really. If he winds up being the starter, which obviously that's a no-brainer, he should be the starter for your playoff
absolutely.
team. If he has a hot
Second from the bottom.
a hot off season, it's like, well, if he has a hot postseason and he winds up taking them to the Stanley Cup Finals, it's not out of the realm of possibilities for that to happen. What I think the stretch would be is San Jose,
playing it
where
on
that's
easy?
like,
Yeah.
San Jose is an aging team, and besides Carlson, what else
got
does that
beat
team
that
have?
bad the other day.
They really don't have anything else.
We'll get there.
I mean, Brian, let me ask you a question: Do the San Jose Sharks really invoke fear in the NHL? Because
not in that tight West.
Yeah, and
There's
I-
scarier teams out
But
there than San Jose.
if I were to pick any of those two teams, I would favor San Jose more. I mean, their team,
San Jose is definitely
you know,
the more favorable team because they
yeah.
got the veteran experience, they
You
got the
do,
playoff
but-
experience.
They've been there.
They were there,
Yeah.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
about that, but that's
Yeah,
the
3
thing,
years
though.
ago.
It's like, I don't know,
Thanks.
man. San Jose, to me, that just looks like a team that is just destined to collapse. It really looks like it's going
Eventually.
to collapse at some
Not destined to
point.
collapse. They're just
I feel like there's a lot of egos
need
on
to
that
start-
team.
well, they
kind
need
of
to
like
start
the
to
Pittsburgh
rebuild.
Steelers.
Yeah, yeah.
There's too many
They need to
egos
start-
on one team, and it's going to end up collapsing.
they got to start to rebuild. They got to let some of these guys that are going to be free agents go that are over the age of 30. Obviously, you're not going to see a guy like Pavelski go. However, guys like Joe Thornton. What's going
Eventually.
to happen with Eric Carlson? Is he going to stay or is he going to go?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of question marks. And could they make a run? Yeah, but I think Vegas is playing the best hockey they've played all season right now.
Absolutely.
Winnipeg is still the top team
They're
in the
still
West, in my opinion.
dangerous. Yeah.
Calgary is still a top team in the West. There's way too much for the Sharks to ever get to the finals. And Rob must be smoking some really good crack if he thinks San Jose is actually going to make it to the to the Cup Finals. Now I get it. To get in, anything can happen. But there are better teams out there than San Jose.
I mean, if San Jose pulls it off, then holy shit, like that came out of nowhere. But honestly, I don't see San Jose going. That honestly, I just don't. I think, like you said, there's way too much for them to overcome. And why are you making that face, Brian?
You'll find out.
I am almost afraid.
He's poking a bear.
I
You mess with the bull, you get the horns. He sounded so
Yikes.
scared. All right, let's get to some more of these comments here. We got a lot rolling in here.
I knew I would regret asking, but anyway.
Yeah, you're not really gonna regret it. You're actually gonna find it funny.
Oh, all
Frank
right.
Vespi says obligatory Frank hates Joe Thornton comment goes here.
Okay.
Steve Krasowski thinks it's going to be Calgary and Tampa Bay in the finals. Calgary wins the cup. I
mean,
could
that-
see that.
That's not out of the realm of possibilities.
No, that's very believable. I actually I'm not too far off from that. I definitely think it's going to be Tampa.
Well, I think
But
Calgary.
I think it's going to be Calgary
Well,
and
Tampa
Vegas
Bay
in
is
the
going to
conference
have the
finals.
curse, so I think
I mean, I
They
don't
can
think
get there. It
They
doesn't necessarily
can. Oh,
mean they're
yeah,
gonna win.
they
big
can
time they
get
can.
there. I just don't think they'd win it.
I think
but
it'll be Winnipeg or Vegas in the Western Conference Finals.
Calgary. But here's the thing about Calgary. Calgary's a dangerous team because I feel like sometimes people sleep on them
they
a
got
little
it
bit.
all. Yeah.
Not all the time, but sometimes I feel like they forget.
I don't-
Yeah, Calgary is a dangerous team, and sometimes you forget that when you got teams like Nashville and you got teams that are
Yeah.
routinely in the playoffs, like San Jose. They kind of you forget like.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sleep on Calgary. Calgary's a dangerous team, and Vegas
They're one of
is
the
a
top
team that's
teams in
going
the
to have
West
a
for a
letdown.
reason.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're one of the top
th-
teams in the West for a reason.
They
Yeah.
are the top team in the West.
I thought Winnipeg was.
No, I'm pretty sure Calgary is.
I got the fucking standings sitting right in front of me.
Well, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter
look-
because neither one of them are going to have the curse, so they've got an actual shot of winning the cup.
But anyway,
Sorry, Tampa.
neither here or there. But I mean, it's going to be really tough to play the West on the Western Conference playoffs. I'm kind of happy the Ducks are where they are right now because they're going to be a first round elimination regardless because they're not scoring goals, and that's blatantly obvious. They haven't been doing it all year. They didn't do it in the playoffs last year. 4 goals in 4 games.
Yeah, Nashville did
Last
beat
year.
them pretty badly last year.
Yeah,
So-
Calgary has 89. Winnipeg has 82. They're Winnipeg's second in the Central right now behind Nashville. But Nashville
cool.
has 3 games in hand, so
All right, moving on.
So-
Where are we at here?
yeah.
David Raska, Carolina 9, Columbus 6 or 0 in his NHL 19 right now. What are you playing on? Easy, Dave? Come on.
Damn.
I play on All-Star. I just got spanked that bad the other night. I did. I lost 8-1.
Nice.
Mike was just looking at it like he's going to drop some kind of atomic bomb, and then he just turns like, nice.
I totally agree with Carlos Gonzalez's comment here. Thanks for commenting in, Carlos. Sharks are like the little sisters to the Ducks and the Kings. They're just that annoying team that's just there.
Well, yeah, they haven't.
You don't want them to be there,
Here's-
but they're just
here's
there.
the weird part.
Everywhere you turn, they're there.
It's weird because they're like that little pest for the Ducks and the Kings, where the Kings have and the Ducks have both celebrated a Stanley Cup. The Sharks have only ever gotten to the final, so it's kind of like, yeah, out of the California rivalry, you're the guys who are the rut of the litter. You don't have a Stanley Cup.
That's a pretty funny comment. I'm going to get to that in a couple seconds here. Our producer chimes in.
The sign guy?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
San Jose invokes fear only when they play the Ducks.
That's a good one. That's a good one there. That's a good one, sign guy. You have won right now. You win right now.
Oh my God, he wins today.
Sensational.
David Raska, Sharks suck balls. Thornton should have been a Duck to win a cup. You
I
don't
don't
like
know.
Thornton.
I don't know how Thornton would have fit in the Ducks. I don't know. How do you think he would have fit?
Probably
in that
not the best.
one? Yeah, I don't know about that one. He didn't fit all that well in Boston. That's why he wound up in San Jose.
Matt McGowan, San Jose, career choke artist.
Yes.
Yes.
100. They always have. They've always been, one of the top teams every single year in the West, and then they end up
What was it?
playing like shit. I remember. I think I know exactly where you're going. And it was like probably 6-7 years ago or something. They were one of the best teams in the league just overall.
They won.
And they shit the bed once they got to the playoffs.
They consistently won their division every year, and then they would go to the playoffs as the number one team in the West. And the one year I do remember this spectacularly, they failed. 2010, they go to the Western Conference Finals against the Chicago Blackhawks, and they got beat in a sweep. We didn't even beat Montreal in a sweep, and Montreal was a fucking 8th seed to us. What the fuck? And we owned their ass in that series.
Yeah.
But yet San Jose, who should have on paper been able to compete with Chicago, and they got crushed in that series.
Yeah, real quick on YouTube, Chris Dunn, yes, this is Flyers talk. he said he was confused by the title and the channel, but yes, this is Flyers talk. We're just generalizing.
We did talk about the Flyers
General
for
hockey.
5 seconds
Yeah,
there, but we're going
it's
through
a hockey
all
talk.
of the we're going through all of the comments right now, and San Jose got brought up. so.
Majority of this talk is going to be Flyers.
We do apologize. We should have a disclaimer up there on the front that says we will probably talk about 5 minutes worth of Flyers, and then everything else will just happen.
We
and
will
that's
get
what happens.
sidetracked.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, a couple more comments too. Glenn saying, feeling we need a pregame change-up. Talking about the Flyers, that is. We seem to come out soft and start off most games.
We do. You know what I think it is? I think it's just the mentality of the team sometimes. I think there's such a laid-back vibe with the Flyers. And not to say that that is a bad thing, because you do not want to be on eggshells going out there, because you'll fuck up a lot more.
Yeah.
But the thing is like you need to find a healthy medium of getting hyped for a game and not feeling like, all right, we'll just get started. It's only the first period. Who cares? Lottie fucking da. Oh, shit, we just got scored on. Maybe we should start playing.
Who
You
was
know?
out for? Was it Nolan Patrick out for the last game? Or
Yeah, Nolan
it
Patrick
was-
and
okay.
Jake Voracek, as a matter
okay.
of fact, because they both suffered injuries.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was TK
Yeah,
or if it was.
Patrick took a puck to his ear, and unfortunately, he's been out since. And
I'll get to that. No, go ahead.
And Voracek, I forget what injury he has, but he suffered an injury last game as well before Washington, and he was out.
Yeah.
So that wasn't exactly the greatest news to hear.
Yeah. Bryce Blackwell also says tough loss.
It is.
Glenn says that 06-07 Flyers season is the worst overall with least points and most losses at home. He also goes on to say that Ovi has 1,199 points overall. I guess he got 2 in the game last night. Overall versus
He did.
Gretzky having 28.57. The gap is crazy to think about. Gretzky has laugh-out-loud records compared to other players, and he always will. I
Yeah.
mean, and nobody's –
He's the best.
I think
He's the
Ovechkin
great
has a
one
good
for a
chance of passing him in goals. I really do.
In
but
goals, yeah, but overall points, hell no.
That
Overall,
was
no
the
one's
only.
touching that.
I think they even said that is the only record he actually has the chance to
hold on to.
yeah.
Or-
Everything else, he has no
Yeah.
hope in hell of
Yeah,
passing.
I don't-
None at all.
I do believe. I mean, what Ovechkin's up to 46 already this year, and that's past what he has to average for the next. I
He's
think
going to
10
break
years
700
it is.
next year.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. The only thing that's going to stop Ovechkin is him getting hurt.
yeah.
That's the only thing that is going to stop him from becoming the all-time goal leader. And, I think, obviously, we all hate Ovechkin here, but to see a record that nobody would have ever thought was going to be beaten is pretty phenomenal.
That is crazy. But you know what, though? I honestly.
I'd rather see Wayne Gretzky keep
Is it-
that.
Of
But,
course.
Okay, now this is gonna
see,
sound-
to see something in your lifetime that's going to be broken like that, I think is awesome.
Here's the thing, though. I actually didn't ever really hate Ovechkin. And I say this because of 2 reasons. One, every time the Capitals and the Flyers usually met in the postseason, the Flyers
Well,
won.
yeah.
Although the one time we did meet, the Flyers stood no fucking chance against them.
Yeah.
But they didn't even go to the Stanley Cup Finals that year, so all is forgiven on that. If anything, I felt bad for the guy because I'm like this guy is so talented, and yet the team around him usually fails.
Yeah.
Like literally, or he'll disappear and fail.
Yeah, in playoffs, yeah.
And
Big time.
that usually it was against you guys, and I fucking hate you guys. That's a different story. Like there's a whole reason
Feelings
for that.
mutual, Matty.
Yeah.
Feelings
I'm
mutual.
sure. Although you guys really have no reason to hate us because what the hell do we do that interrupts your process? Nothing. Literally
Right now,
nothing
as
at
of
all.
as
Like,
of recent,
seriously.
yeah. But this is what Ryan was laughing about. He said, "Oh my God, I thought I saw a Penguins jersey, almost stabbed my eyes out. I was there. It was great. I don't know where he was there, but
Stadium Series?
somewhere it was great. I'm guessing
probably
maybe
the Stadium
Stadium Series.
Series,
If
yeah.
it was, then great, because that's a great game right there. Just a wonderful, wonderful game. Especially because that smug prick Evgeny Malkin scored, and then we wound up winning. That was great. I hated Malkin more in that game than I did Crosby. Crosby was just fucking there. I didn't think a day would come where I'd hate Malkin more than
He was
Crosby.
just there. He scored the first goal of the game.
No, but I'm serious, though. Here's the weird part, though. It's because of what happened with Raffle that I hated Malkin more at that time. I'm like, I never thought in a million years, even though Crosby is the captain of this team, that I would hate Malkin more than Crosby in a particular game. But I hated him more than I hated Crosby that night. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? I still hate Crosby, but I hate Malkin more. It felt weird. It felt so strange. I felt like I needed to take some Ritalin or something. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me right now? I should be hating Crosby more than Malkin. This is not right.
Just got a couple more over here on Facebook. We got Matthew McGowan continuing to say, almost every year a top seed flames out. Do you see what he did there?
Yeah.
Flames.
I
I
see
got
what he did there.
you.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's clever. Clever, Matt. Carlos chimes back in with, it's just funny when you watch the Kings versus Ducks games and the rivalry is actually there, which he has a very valid point to. It's a different feel. It's a different atmosphere.
Well, I think it's also because of the proximity. You know,
Well, that
Anaheim
too.
and Los Angeles are
It's
right
like-
next door. So
It's like watching Flyers Penguins.
Yeah.
It's
Penguins,
just-
yeah,
it's-
same
There's it's just a
same
different feel.
state, and you can get there within a day. You know, so
He also goes on to say, when you watch a Ducks versus Sharks game, it's like, don't feel no rivalry at all. It's just like an annoying girlfriend you just don't want to respond back to.
Nice.
Which is true because
Well,
it's very accurate.
you know who I would say the Sharks have a bigger rivalry with. It would have been the Red Wings because they always wound up meeting the fucking Red Wings at some point, and they lost to them all the time.
Yeah.
So
I
I'd
feel-
say there's more of a rivalry there than there is necessarily the California teams.
So jumping back to the Ovi conversation, Aaron Buffington chimes in with, but Ovi only has 27 assists. It's what we've been saying for years.
He's not a
shoot-first
team player. He's about himself when it comes to the puck. I mean, it's.
He shoot first, pass second.
I think it's shoot twice, pass second.
Well, maybe four
I
times.
think he would get his own rebound and
Well,
not pass it
here-
to an open guy.
Well, he sits at the top of the circle like he always does,
Well,
even on
it's-
power play,
yeah.
whatever. And then he'll rip
Well,
a one-timer. That's all he does.
Here's
Yeah.
the funny part, though. There was actually I was watching highlights of one of the games between Washington and someone. I forget what it was, and he passed the puck, and it shocked me so much. I was like, "Holy fuck! He actually
didn't take
passed
the
it!
shot.
Like, holy
What?
shit! He didn't take the shot, and the goal got scored too on top of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, he actually acted like a captain there. I'm
Wait.
shocked.
Well, what's funny
Like-
is, and this is my whole thing on Alex Ovechkin, all his assists come from rebound shots. Because
Yeah.
he'll take the shot and then rebound, somebody will pump it home. And
yeah, it's not actually him passing it.
no, he's not passing the puck at all. They're all
And they're
rebounds.
all secondary assists.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be surprised if at least half of those 27 assists are secondary assists.
There's got to be a stat in there. You think?
I'm not looking it up because
I'm
that's a
not
lot.
looking it up either.
That's a lot of shit to go through.
I'm
we
not
need
looking
a
it up
fucking
either, but I'm
media
just
guide.
curious.
You know what we need? We need one of those giant fucking encyclopedias that has all
what?
the fucking stats
Keep
of
it up.
hockey. Yeah, we've got these magical things called phones, and we got the internet for this resource. But you know what? It makes you feel more important when you got a giant ass fucking book that you can just open up and be like, "That's it right there." You feel like an actual like.
I have one of those for baseball.
Does it not make you feel like, yeah, man, I fucking know what I'm talking about?
When it comes to baseball, yes.
Yeah, see? It makes you feel like the fucking man. Like you know what you're talking about.
I don't like baseball that
Well, I am
much.
the man, so it doesn't really matter.
Eh.
I'm just saying.
Apparently, to Chrome,
Yes.
you're only one of the men. So,
Fuck him.
and you want to go on his show. I would look forward to that show any day of the week. I really am.
Yeah,
Nah,
Mr.
I love-
Peroto,
I
the
love
guy
him.
working our 1s and 2s, he said Tuesday was the 15th anniversary of the huge Flyers versus Senators brawl. That was that. I honestly, every once in a while, I go back and just watch
That's
that
a great
video.
brawl.
It's something
That's a
that like
tremendous brawl.
I would piss off my
Yes.
teacher in school and just play that video. It's I don't know. It is just awesome to watch. Yeah.
It's so beautiful because it's such a 70s thing, but to see it in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Well,
you
it's-
know?
Well, the fact
The
that
best part. Go ahead.
Ken Hitchcock was sending guys out there to purposely to fight.
Yes.
As soon as the puck is dropped, grab your partner and just throw.
But the best part of
Takes
it is
two to
is
tango.
That
or something.
I
like
forget who was the coach of the Senators. Wasn't it John Tortorella at that time? No,
No,
it was
it
two.
wasn't him.
No, he was. Who was coach of the Ottawa Senators at that time?
I'm so bad with coaches'
I
names in
forget
hockey.
who it was.
That.
Not
For
gonna
some
lie
reason, I
there.
want to say Brian Murray, but I don't think that's right.
No, I don't think it was Brian Murray. But all I know is he looked back at the coach, and Ken Hitchcock just kind of gave a nod, like, "I'm gonna keep going if you will. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just gonna keep sending guys out there to beat the fuck out
Yeah.
of you." Like,
the
simple as that.
best part about the end of the game was just watching the benches and seeing
there's
there's three
nobody.
people per team. There was more coaches on the bench than there was players.
Oh my god,
It was
great.
hilarious.
And the best part of it, you know who started the whole fucking fight? The Flyers' own Donald Brashear.
Oh,
It was Donald Brashear and Rob Ray.
Yes. And how do you not love Donald Brashear? Oh my God! Like, you wouldn't be able to have him now in the NHL, but God, back when he was the man, he was the fucking man. Like seriously, never wanted to fuck with Brashear. He'd end you. He would.
Well,
end
dude,
you.
he was like 6'4", like 260 or something.
I
Like
know.
he was
a big motherfucker.
he was huge.
He
like
was, yeah.
he was, obviously going up against him was always bad. But watching him play and just him fucking somebody up every time he fought was
Oh
just
my God.
awesome to watch.
There's actually, I think someone made a compilation. Him and Ty Domi used to fight every time that whatever team Brashear was on and the Toronto Maple
Yeah.
Leafs, they would always fight. And there's just a compilation of
Yeah.
him fighting Ty Domi.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
oh my God, talk about two generational, just absolute fucking animals out there on the ice.
Speaking of ugly situations, did you guys see the ugly situation brewing in the Knights and Flames game yesterday?
No, I don't.
No.
Brady Tkachuk, not Brady. Brady's in Ottawa. Matthew Tkachuk decided to get under Marc-Andre Fleury's skin last night.
Hey,
He
you
bumped
don't
him.
do
He
that.
bumped him a couple times, and then it got to the point where Tkachuk was back skating. He back skated right into Fleury, and Fleury kind of just got in his face.
Mm-hmm.
So the defenseman, I want to say it was Robert Englund, wraps him up, and Tkachuk gets free, goes after Fleury. So then everybody's starting to go at it, and you just see the goaltender from Calgary just kind of skate up. It wasn't Mike Smith, because if it was Mike Smith, he would have been
Who
in
was
that
it,
pile.
Ritter or something like
Ritter.
that? Yeah.
Ritter, something like that.
Something.
Goes out to the blue line, and you just see Marc-Andre Fleury just skate up to the other blue line. You see him just toss his glove aside, and you just see him like starting to drop his glove. Like, come on, you gonna come? No, you sure? No. He's taking him on. It was
I
it was
miss
about to
Fleury
erupt.
so much. Oh my God.
Why would you want Fleury when you've got Matt Murray?
I have to give it to Murray. The past couple games, he's been playing great. He got a shutout tonight in a 3-0 victory against Columbus, which is huge. But this is the boost that he's been missing. I don't think he hasn't lost a game since the Flyers game. So
Since the Stadium
and he's started every single one of them,
He's
which
tied
is
for
good.
8th now in wins in all time for goalies. He just passed
Oh,
Jacques Plante. Now
Fleury?
He's tied with Terry Salchuk.
And I believe Fleury also leads the league this season in shutouts. I think he has 7. I think it's
That I
7
can't
right now.
confirm.
You got Matt Murray. You got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Just a couple more comments
Yeah.
came in. So real quick, David Raskus chiming in. Ducks and Kings don't face each other in the postseason since 2014. They don't have like Rangers and Islanders rivalry postseason. That's not true, Dave. I've seen the Ducks and the Kings get very.
They got scrappy
Yeah.
a few times.
I mean, they
Oh,
wouldn't have had
yeah.
a Stadium Series game if they weren't rivalries. So.
I mean, Well, what was
Islanders
it?
and Rangers can get into it, but it's not.
I mean,
It's nothing like the Ducks and Kings,
in
especially if the rosters are right.
Well, during the time period when the Kings won their 2 Stanley Cups, when they would face the Ducks, those series were pretty
Hard-fought,
brutal,
scrappy.
as I recall, and it did go down to the wire each time. So,
Matthew McCowan says the young Ovi was a treat to watch. I'll give him that.
he
and
was.
this is coming from a Penguins fan, by the way.
but
Yep.
but at the same time too, he was also on one of the worst teams in the NHL, in the Washington Capitals.
So
when
was
he,
Sidney
when he
Crosby.
Came in.
Hold on. He goes on to say, but 400 goals from the pylon position kind of kills the luster. 99 scored from the areas at all times. Look how many shorthanded goals he had. I was just looking at his stats, and then I saw the comment. Really? I couldn't have read this comment before. Christian Phelps wants to know if anybody else on here plays CHEL.
I'm guessing he means the Chell, like NHL.
Well, isn't there there's a league form or an online thing that's like the CHEL or something?
I don't know.
like
I
that.
just played.
I usually play that.
Oh, yeah, that's the EA thing. I thought.
That's what I thought. I thought that's what he was talking about. But anyway, Christian, if you could confirm, Matt says he just puked in his mouth over Murray. He says he's overrated.
Well,
Oh, come
It's
on, man!
just-
That's your goalie. Have some pride. Come on.
no, I'm. Listen, the guy won us 2 Stanley Cups in a rookie year.
To
Which
be
is,
fair, though, Fleury did help him with the
oh,
second
there's no,
one.
there's no doubt. I mean,
Let
well,
us
'cause
not
when,
deny that.
Well, when Murray was hurt, Fleury came in, played great, got us all the way there. But then those last couple of games, Fleury started losing, his streak. Murray came back in. Murray played the rest of the Stanley Cup, and we won again. So it's, listen, I like Murray. I bust his balls a lot, okay? Because he's very inconsistent. Like tonight, he gets a shutout. I think it was like probably 30 saves or something like that. Other nights, he'll let in 4 goals on 6 shots. It's just, he's just very inconsistent.
Boy.
Obviously, I love Murray for what he's done. Like I said, when he was with the AHL, I couldn't wait for him to come up and play. Like it was a boost that we needed. Fleury was being Fleury, but not as we didn't have that solid backup.
And then he came up actually
he
in
came
an
up in
emergency
an-
situation.
Yeah, and then killed it. He just was lights out for the rest of the season. End up staying up. End up taking Fleury's spot in the playoffs, and just the rest is history.
Got a great question here from Christian Phelps.
Okay.
He wants to know, who do you guys think could benefit the most from Kako or Hughes? Obviously, everyone benefits, but who do you think Hughes/Kako would impact the fastest? So let's look at the bottom 3 teams in the league right now. Anaheim, LA, and Ottawa.
I would say
Not in that particular order.
LA probably, to be honest, because I don't think Ottawa's really. I don't think anything that Ottawa does is going to benefit Ottawa.
Ottawa, they are now in hard rebuild mode, so they're going to take a few seasons before everything should be gelling together for them. However, though, if they do get a little trade happy or they do get a little deal happy and they sign some big free agents, who knows? But that's if they sign.
But
big
I was
free
going to say,
agents.
that's the big word is if, and whoever goes to Ottawa is only chasing money because they're clearly not chasing a cup. That's the thing. I'm being dead ass here. Like, if you're signing with Ottawa in the offseason, it's because you're just playing for money.
Well, I mean
Okay.
that's what. a
Ask
lot of
Michael
people,
Grabner. Ask him how
Yeah.
Arizona's doing, okay? Because he
That's
went and
true.
chased the money.
That's true.
I get it. He's a guy that never really, until last season
I
had
mean,
the
of course,
30-goal
Of
year.
course you chase the money.
He's
Just
going
when
to
he's
chase
playing
the
in
money.
Arizona.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
that,
He had
that was kind of the same thing you would do when you would take a deal with Florida for the
Yeah.
longest time.
I mean,
you were
he-
just chasing money because you knew Florida wasn't going to do shit forever.
He had a legitimate chance of, playing for a solid team. Instead, he took the $3.5 million a year to go play with Arizona. Okay, so ask him how that's doing. When is he going to get his next cup? Because I guarantee if it's there, it's not happening.
Well, I mean, Arizona. It's odd to say though that Arizona is still in the wild card race. Oddly enough, out in the West. But it's a very disparaging gap between
Oh,
the
God.
wild card teams and the teams that are competing for it at this moment in time.
So back to the actual question, since it completely got passed over. Who does Hughes and Kako benefit the best?
For
fastest?
me, out of the just depends on what they bring to the table, really. Also, it depends if they're roster ready immediately. But
No,
they
these
would
guys
be.
are ready to
They
go.
would be, yeah.
And you're saying 3 teams right now would be
The
what,
bottom
King?
3 teams are L.A., Anaheim, and Ottawa.
Well, let me double check the positions because that's the other thing
Oh,
too.
there it is, 25 saves. Again,
Well-
a stat that could have just popped up,
Hold on.
2
let
minutes
me,
earlier.
Son of
let
a bitch.
Well, let me check the positions real quick because that's going to also be the bigger.
Ottawa's last. L.A.'s right
No,
behind
no,
them.
not that. I meant the players.
Oh, they're 1 and 2.
No. Position, as in
Forwards.
Thank you. All right, so offense. That's going to
Well,
be what they're.
Obviously, Anaheim needs a goal scorer,
Yep.
and
So-
that's big. But if I were to pick any of those 3 teams that I think that were more of a surprising thing, I felt like LA just was a huge disappointment this year.
Here's
Anaheim went through a lot more injuries and everything else to go along with
It's got
it.
one of the
firing
best players back.
Yeah,
Here's
well,
the-
finally, yeah, which is, it still hasn't really helped.
Here's
but,
the thing. Anaheim is a question mark only because the goal is to get Joel Quenneville.
Mhm.
That's the goal.
No, that's my goal.
But that's the thing. What's the
It's a good legitimate goal, though.
But that's the thing, though. I wouldn't be
I would
surprised
kill
if that
for
is
him.
the organization's goal at this point in time to go get Joel Quenneville since they need a coach.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you do get him, then obviously it'll be a massive impact on Anaheim because then that means, okay, you just got more offense on top of offense that you already have that wasn't doing anything this year.
Yeah.
So I would say that'd be the bigger impact because Anaheim, if they had been playing up to the standards that they had, they'd be in the playoffs right now. They'd be in a spot in the playoffs at this moment in time.
They didn't have so many injuries.
Yeah,
Which is
so
the worst part.
in my opinion,
Why
LA
are
is
you not
kind of
working?
LA's a little hit or miss, especially considering the fact that Quick has had his injury problems.
Yeah.
That hasn't helped anything. I don't know, man. LA is a hit or miss team with me. I would say Anaheim would be the bigger impact, in my opinion.
Who goes there? Hughes or Kako?
Well,
I could tell you Hughes is going first, so.
it depends on who's
I don't
the
know. They're
shittier.
saying Kako might be the guy that goes
Really?
number 1 overall.
Oh, wow.
They're saying he might be the better guy.
I would say, well, that's the thing. Who would go?
I'm sorry,
Kako
Anaheim's
signs
4th.
Finnish.
Anaheim's
Is he from
4th.
Finland?
I don't know where he's from.
Sounds like a Finnish name.
I'm sorry.
Just not even gonna say it.
Anaheim's 4th out. Detroit's the 3rd team.
Oh, wow, really?
I forgot about Detroit because they're also in rebuild mode. Well, Detroit, I wouldn't say that it would make as big of an impact because they too are kind of in hard rebuild right now.
Called it. He's from Finland.
Look at you go.
Capo Kako. That's a pretty dope name. I guarantee he's a goal scorer.
He's a goal
Comparable
scorer.
sniper to Patrick Laine.
Is
Okay.
it weird? Is it weird to say every time I hear
He's
the
the
name?
one I want.
Is it?
Play like Crapo for Kako. That's who I want.
You know what
Capo
I'm saying
Kako.
right now.
You imagine hearing that name when he scores, and Capo Kako scores again.
Every time I hear the name Cat,
Anaheim Duck Skulls.
Is it
Scored by
just-
number blah blah blah.
is it-
Capo Kako.
is it just
That's a
me,
pretty
or
dope
do you
name.
think of
That's
like
an awesome hockey name.
every time I hear Kako, I think of Doom because of one of the demons is named a Kako. And so I was like, I just keep thinking of a demon from Doom
He only has
every time I hear the name.
4 letters in his first and last name. That's pretty impressive too.
Yeah, it's
Kapo.
K-A-P-O.
That's
How
it.
hard can that be to spell?
I hope you
Oh,
can't
he's
forget
got
that.
5. He's got 5 in his last name. Kakko.
Yeah, but I'm saying just
Oh,
he's got
he's 4 and 5.
Kapo.
Oh.
But anyway,
Oh, 4
um,
letters.
That's yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. I would say the biggest impact, immediate impact. That's the thing, too. I'd say immediate impact for getting the team up higher in the standings to them actually being competitive. It would really hit Anaheim, I think, the most than necessarily Detroit and Ottawa because they're both in hard rebuild. And they have to still put the pieces around Dylan Larkin in Detroit, and they have to put a lot of pieces still around Kachuk over in Ottawa right now for them to officially ascend a little bit higher into the standings.
And so
As compared to Anaheim and LA, that kind of already have some talent there that you could put some players around that would elevate play immediately.
now with the draft lottery, there's no guarantees, obviously, and there's
Obviously,
no guarantees in
yeah.
the draft.
Yeah, because the Penguins would win the lottery or something stupid like that. Imagine that.
What, in a season that didn't
Well,
happen?
if you're in the
and they go get
postseason, you're not
Crosby?
even in the
Yeah.
lottery,
I know.
which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But see, unless Anaheim finds a spot in the top 2, they're not getting either guy.
Well, yeah,
And I know that. Of course, you guys know that. Everybody watching knows that. But it's just fun to think, bringing in a guy like Kako in Anaheim, I think he's going to be a top 6 player in this league.
Now, as for if it's just the two that we're talking about with Ottawa and Detroit, and it's not involving Anaheim or Los Angeles, then
All right, let's say Ottawa and Detroit have picks number 1 and 2.
So, my opinion, out of that, I would say a bigger impact would hit Detroit, only because I feel like right now they are building up currently. Ottawa kind of started doing that, and I feel like Ottawa's been selling off their pieces. They did it last year. They have a few players, but primarily what I'm thinking is the immediate impact would hit Detroit more than necessarily Ottawa because they already have a few guys in there. Not a lot, but a few. They have Larkin. They have Antoniciu. Ottawa kind of has Tkachuk, and then after that they got a little bit, but not a lot. It's just kind of like I'd say the immediate impact would hit Detroit out of those two teams. Only because of that reasoning alone.
Yeah, I'm with you there in the fact that I just think that Ottawa is
They're kind
just immediate impact for any of those players. They're not going to benefit.
A team like Ottawa and
the
Detroit,
team.
though, when you're going into a draft and you're in full rebuild, and you got picks 1 and 2, you're looking for the guy that's going to make the immediate impact.
of course. Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah, but I mean,
It's just a matter of which position do you need first.
But
I think Hughes is a center who can pass the puck, but has a ton of scoring upside. Kako is a pure sniper.
Well, in
Yeah.
a way, though, that benefits more for, I would say Kako would be great for Ottawa because you can have a Tkachuk player working with him
I hope not.
and being a strong player. So that way the
When
two of
here.
them you can have a great tandem right there to start off with where one is a pure goal
Yeah.
scorer. The other one can be the setup guy as well as a goal scorer as well in case you need it. Meanwhile, Detroit, they could really benefit from Hughes because they have Dylan Larkin to back end with them. They need someone to start that forward rush, and they already have Antoniciu who can score. You can have Hughes come in and play and make that a bigger impact as well, having a strong centerman in that side. To me, I would say but one of those two would fit better in the other. Kako going into Detroit, it would be like, okay, he's not going to be the forward guy that's going to set up. He's going to be strictly the goal scorer. Do you see a guy like Antoniciu stepping up and being the main guy on that forward unit to kind of be the guy to rally around? Hughes sounds more like the guy you rally around. So it's like, okay, what does the club need? You already have Tkachuk in Ottawa. You can rally around him. In Detroit, you have Larkin, but he's on defense. You need someone on that forward side that everybody can rally around and start scoring on. Not that Larkin can't score, but again, defense, forward. There, you do need that on both ends.
Larkin's a winger.
Yeah, I was going to say Larkin is a
I'm
forward.
sorry. Why do I always confuse Larkin with a D-man? I keep getting it wrong.
But to your point is, where does who fits in better where? And honestly, I think you're going to see Hughes is going to go 1 and Kako is going to go 2. You're going to see that. That's going to be it. Right now, Jack Hughes is the guy who's valued as number 1. He's the number 1 guy. He's going to have the most impact. He's NHL. They say he's NHL ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of who's going to get the first overall pick.
I mean, again, it does. At the end of the day,
Please.
You watch.
They'll start winning games at the end of the year and have like the 8th pick.
Don't you dare put that evil on me.
All right, I'll do you one better. I'll be here for you, Brian. Watch you pull what the Flyers did, and you get the number 2 pick. Even though you have no reason to get the number 2 pick, but you fucking do.
Matt McGowan says our Flyers talk was better. I'm not sure how to take that.
I could tell you right now, hockey and probably baseball are the 2 hardest drafts to even like put into perspective to talk about people.
I mean, unless you have that franchise changer, Patrick Laine and Austin
Yeah.
Matthews, you're not gonna. It's too tough.
yeah.
Like
it
Nolan
is.
Patrick was
There's-
only projected
yeah.
to be a second-line center. He was taken second overall.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but that draft wasn't very deep, and that showed.
This one's not really deep either. I think this one's more deep on defensemen.
Well, which also benefits a team like actually, it really benefits Ottawa and Detroit because those are two teams that are kind of weakened right now on their defensive side of things. And what sign guy?
He's starting to give me that look, and it's.
He's giving you the
I look
Iggy.
up. I look up, and he's laughing at something.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
What else is new?
So,
I'd be going crazy too if I was going to jail for the next 30, 40 years.
I love how R. Kelly got pissed off and he got upset and he started crying. I'm like, dude.
He got pissed off because he pissed on somebody else.
You know, it's like,
I
yeah.
wish that was on camera.
Well,
He got a little aggressive with his headphone and just slapped him right in the face.
oh, that's what you get, sign guy.
I'm out here fighting for my life.
But anyway, I just find that hilarious. R. Kelly's getting all upset and sad and crying and everything. I'm like, dude, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? Like, did you really think you were going to be protected by your wealth your entire life and think you could get away with abusing underage women? What the fuck is wrong with you, stupid?
Yes.
Oh, well. Don't you love it when people are really dumb? Then you kind of feel like, you know what? I'm not doing so bad. I'm not really doing all that bad. I may not have the same money he does, but that dude's fucked.
Yeah, Matt, we don't know the draft order yet, but it's just speculation. We're just
Yeah, it's
trying
all
to have some.
speculation.
We're asking answering a fan question.
If anything, I'm roaming around trying to figure out like what Ottawa has, and really the only name that comes to mind is Kachuk.
Yeah,
because that's
definitely.
really the only person they have. Detroit, they have
And
Larkin.
Craig Anderson.
Yeah, well, they just have Kachuk.
Yeah.
But anyway, no offense to Anderson, but his best days are gone.
Well, that's what happens too when you take your best defenseman out of your lineup.
That is true. Yes.
Okay, you're only as
And
good
you
as your
trade him off.
defense, so
yeah, bye-bye.
yeah.
But again, out of honesty's sake, if the drafts are deep in defensemen, this is beneficial for Detroit and Ottawa because then they could start building their back end and getting a little bit better defensively. Because that's the thing. You can win hockey games with offense, but you need to be able to score offense like that.
Oh, yeah.
You need to score it on a dime. And only certain teams can do that right now in the NHL, and those are usually teams in the playoffs.
Connor, is that a hoping or is that
What is Connor saying?
he said Ottawa
say
can't
Ottawa-
get the number one?
Why can't Ottawa get the number one, Connor?
There shouldn't be a penalty on them.
Oh.
Shit. Did
Oh,
they really?
fuck, that's right, they did. Oh, my God, I forgot all about it.
Who did they get from Colorado?
They did do that, didn't they?
Wow.
Wow. So that
Okay, so that changes everything.
that changed everything. So that means Ottawa's just fucked in general.
So Colorado's
Holy
the
shit.
best fit for
Boy, I'll tell you, Colorado right now, they have to be so happy with Ottawa right now. Like, yes, nice. Go on. Good on you, boys. You're fucking up at the perfect time for us.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Oh,
fucking
shit.
much.
Thanks for that,
We
Connor.
appreciate you guys. Thank you for bringing that little news fact to us. I
Yeah.
thought we knew.
I take it you're going to double
That's
check
right,
that
the
real
Kyle
quick.
Turris trade. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
That is what it
nice.
was. I forgot all about Kyle Turris.
Yeah.
I forgot they sold him off because he didn't do a fucking thing for
Nah,
Ottawa.
I remember, I hate talking about the NHL games when we're talking about real NHL here, but he was always that guy you wanted for your hut team because he was going to be one of the best players that you could soup him up, really, and just make him amazing. So,
Interesting. I forgot about that.
all right, so Matt's like, let's change the subject a little bit. He goes, who wins the Metro?
Oh, well, that actually
That's a good question. It's going to be
very good
between the
Because
Islanders
Washington-
and Washington, I think. I mean, Penguins are four points behind both teams. Actually, I think
You know
Washington
what?
is in the lead right now.
Washington is making a late surge, and Islanders are kind of been playing in a funk lately.
Yeah, they're
You know,
playing
they've been
mediocre hockey
struggling.
right now.
I mean, the Flyers crushed them, and it's like there's no reason why you should be getting crushed right now by the Flyers. Don't get me wrong, the Flyers are playing better, but we're still the same team from the first
Yeah.
half. You should not be getting crushed by us right now. This should be a lot more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And then you face Washington, and Washington kills us. So
yeah,
it's
that
like,
was an
holy
impressive
shit.
win too from the Flyers. What was it, 5-1 final over the Islanders?
Yeah, we
And
absolutely.
that was in Barkley.
Yeah, we annihilate.
Wasn't
Not
even
not.
Barclay,
It
it
was
was
in
in
Nassau.
Nassau.
They
Pick a
refurbished-
fucking stadium, okay? Because they switch between both of them, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, they refurbished Nassau. They've completely refurbished it. New sponsor and everything.
They're still floating back and forth for the rest of the year.
That's because
Drives
of,
me
The
nuts.
That's
Nassau
because of-
Coliseum's getting the first round of the playoffs. Everything else is going back to the Barclay.
That's because of the fucking lease shit with Barkley. Because you got to remember the
Islanders won out. They got to
Yeah.
finish their lease. They want to go back to the Nassau
Yeah.
Coliseum. It's just a mess.
That's because
I think the
Islanders,
fans want to stay in the Nassau Coliseum.
They do.
I
They
think
do.
that's
yeah.
It's easy. It's
Nobody
easier
wants
for
to
them.
play in Brooklyn. I'm sorry. The Nets moving there was one of the worst things. Okay, I'm just saying. That's a hurt Nets fan right
I mean,
there.
it does have a very neat entranceway though, with the holographic thing in the entrance. That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
I'll
listen,
give it
the
that.
stadium's nice.
That's pretty neat.
Personally, I haven't been in there, but just watching games inside of it and seeing the outside, stadium's nice. But I'm sorry, there was no need for that move. Okay.
It was more made for the Nets to move there than it was for the Islanders.
Yeah.
Well,
they just kind of came up with a last minute. Oh, we're going to throw the Islanders in here too.
Well, the only reason
And the
why
arena wasn't built for hockey.
Well, yeah, but the only reason why it was chosen was because they thought that the Nassau Coliseum was officially closing because they
what they
realized
thought.
that the Nassau Coliseum kind of needed renovations. I mean, it would leak rain.
Well, my vote for the Metro. Who's winning the Metro is the Islanders. And real quick before we have we go to our break here. Christian wants to know, and this is a pretty good
I
question
like
too.
this one too. Yeah.
What would be the most fun matchups to see in postseason for you guys, no matter how likely or unlikely they are? What's the most fun matchup
Well,
In the postseason?
in the postseason?
Hmm.
For me, I think it's fairly easy. I think it's watching the Ducks and Kings. They go at it balls to the wall. They give every bit because of the rivalry.
You know,
It's so much fun to watch.
I think if we're talking this season, I would love to see Tampa Bay and Boston in a playoff series this year. I think
Toronto and Boston would be another good one.
they
yeah,
would
I
be,
was going to go with Toronto and Boston because they have a little bit of history with each other. Boston seems to be the one thing
Yeah.
that stops Toronto every single time.
I just right now I would think between that rivalry, I think it'd have to be Tampa and Boston would be a matchup that I would actually sit down and watch instead of something stupid like the Minnesota Wild and the Flames. Like that's not a series I want to watch.
Well, that's a first time.
Although Minnesota
You
and
know.
Colorado had a really good series last
Well,
year.
Yeah,
Minnesota
they
and
did, but it-
Colorado, they also have a history with each other because those two teams would always wind up meeting. Every time Colorado would make the playoffs, somehow, some way, they always face Minnesota. And not only that, too, Minnesota did beat Colorado one year way back in the day when Minnesota had no stars
Yeah, very
and
true.
went to the Western Conference Finals. That is the farthest, by the way, that Minnesota's ever gotten in the playoffs. True story. But
I like all these Connors matchups.
Connors
are
matchups
great.
are awesome. He goes to say he would like to see the Preds and the Jets, which I think would be a great one. That would be a great Western Conference Final matchup. Caps Pens. It's always
Tired
a
of
good
that
one.
series. I'm just
you're tired of
it.
it. No one else is. Why are you
Too
worried?
much stress.
You're gonna
okay?
fucking win
You
it
don't know what
anyway.
it's like to be a Penguins fan
What
in
it-
that series or a Capitals
Oh, I'm
fan.
sure it's real fucking hard to be a Penguins fan. Anyway,
Boston, Toronto's another one. He says the history behind it. Oh, hiccup. That hurt. He also, you didn't hear it. And after last night, and I agree with Connor on this one, Calgary and the Golden Knights, because things got real heated.
Yeah.
they
They
did.
got real feisty.
It did. Actually, it got heated between L.A. and Vegas, and that was a sweep. Like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Vegas Pens would be a good Stanley
Vegas
Cup
Pens
final.
would be really good at Stanley Cup final.
Vegas has had our number in all the
Oh,
games.
this is a
except,
good one.
Plus,
Except for the one where we got under Fleury's skin and we put the tribute video on in the second period when we were down, and it worked.
Ready?
Okay, it worked. We won that game.
This is a really, really good one. The Isles and the Leafs.
Mm.
Oh, that would be great. You want to know why? Because it'd be the first time those two teams met since that great
Probably
series
since
they
the 80s,
had
right?
way back in the day when Lavi was coaching the Islanders. That was a tremendous series.
Wade Baker, Panthers, Coyotes.
I think that would be a fun one. It's very unlikely, but I think that would be a fun one.
Could you imagine that Stanley Cup final? Oh, my God. I think officially the
Lowest
whole
rated.
hockey
It would have
world-
to be the lowest rated finals.
It would be because the hockey
It would be like
world-
this year's Super Bowl.
No Canadian
You know,
would watch it.
Two
I
of the
can guarantee you that
warmest
right now.
climate teams playing for Lord Stanley's Cup.
I could guarantee you that would not bring in
You would-
anybody.
no Canadians would watch it. You know that for a fucking fact because they'd be like, "Oh my God!"
They'd be
absolutely
like, I've
not."
never heard of these teams, eh?
Yeah, and it's
know?
like, "Oh my God, you're gonna have the fucking Florida team face off for the Stanley Cup? That's bullshit."
Matthew McZeezery I hope I said
That's
your
how
name right.
Canadians
Zizeri.
talk. No, I'm joking.
McZeezery. Yotes and Jets conference final this year, calling it.
What was the final?
I'll
he
put the
called?
money that the Coyotes don't make the playoffs.
Yotes and
Yotes and the
Jets
Jets.
conference final. If the Phoenix Coyotes,
If they can get in,
Arizona.
who the fuck cares? If the Phoenix Coyotes get in to the Western Conference Finals for the second time in their history this year, I will cry laughing because that would mean that the teams they would have had to have eliminated would have been the Calgary Flames or the San Jose Sharks or what's the third place team right now in the Pacific? Give me a name. What's the third place team?
oh, I have no idea.
It's your
Vegas.
division.
It's Vegas.
Vegas. Or had to be Vegas. Which, by the way, if it winds up being Vegas and the Coyotes in the first round, I'd cry laughing as well because it's two teams in the desert. But what would kill me is that they beat better teams that have no right beating to get to the Western Conference Finals. And you know what would happen? They'd beat the Jets. I guarantee fucking
The
see it.
fucking
They'd do
Kings
it.
won a Stanley Cup, but they had no business winning, being an 8 seed. But
Yeah, but they had Johnny Quick, so that changed everything.
They were an 8 seed. They were one of the few 8 seeds to win a Stanley Cup.
But again, they had Johnny Quick. Trumps everything.
Stop it.
Oh, come on. You know it trumps everything. They're
Stop
the reason
it.
why. He's the reason why
He
they
was
have
hot
two
at the right
cups.
time.
And that's why they have 2 cups. You don't have to be the best
Yeah,
during
it
the
has
regular
nothing to do
season.
with the fact that they were, one of the best defensive teams in the league, and they had Anze Kopitar.
Well, yeah, but
And who else they have? Jeff
Dustin
Carter,
Brown,
Dustin Brown, who was
when he was actually good.
when he was actually relevant.
Yeah.
again,
Mike
though,
Richards. Come
Again,
on, stop
though,
it. Stop
again,
it. It's not
again.
just. It's not just Jonathan Quick.
Well, okay, maybe the second cup is all Johnny Quick because let's be honest, they were lucky they even made the playoffs that year.
I'll give it the first one.
Oh, either way, though, after all that wildness, are there any more comments that we have?
Oh, we got a bunch.
Okay. Well,
Jets. Real quick, we're going through them before we go to break.
okay.
Jets versus Calgary with the Jets going from Connor. Christian says Vegas.
Okay.
Connor goes on to say Tampa Bay versus Boston with Tampa Bay going. Tampa wins in 6. Matthew McZee says Knights. Christian says he's only 8 seed. Matthew McGowan, Penn's Boston is always nasty. Matthew McZee says, remember Cam Ward?
Ah,
what,
yes,
Chicago,
Cam
right?
Ward.
He's
Yeah,
still
he's
in
in Chicago. You guys think Jonathan Quick is getting traded at the draft? Yes,
we'll
and I'm
answer
not
those
sure who to who.
questions on YouTube because we got to get over there. But
He's not coming to Philly in case
No.
anyone's wondering.
that debate's over.
Yeah, that debate's over. We're married to Carter Hart now. So, all right.
Link is in the comments, by the way,
It
to
is.
all the people that are watching on Facebook Live. But
Yes.
we got to hop on over there.
We
so
do. So,
Close it out, Maddie.
yes. So, we thank you for all the interaction. Now, again, if you guys loved interacting with us on Facebook, hey, you could do the same thing on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be, like we said, in the comments. You can click a link, and it will take you to the second half on YouTube. And feel free to light the chat up on there because we always love talking to you guys. You guys make this show so much more fun. And you're the reason why we get off track, but we love getting off track, just letting you know. So, with that being said, this first part of the Hockey Happy Hour is brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. You know what? I hate taxes.
But I love the return.
Yes. And you want to know what's beautiful about getting a return is knowing that you got every single penny that you earned right back. That is why you have to go to Gibson Mayer LLC. They're the guys that'll get you every penny you deserve, and tax season is here. So be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayer. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2TRadio.com. Like we said, join us if you're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If not, then thank you, good night, and we'll see you on YouTube right after this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Hockey Happy Hour on YouTube. We are live from the Real Talk Studios here at Mount from New Jersey. I'm Matt Tsutsuti. This is the Penguin-loving Michael Klankoff.
Saw.
And over here is the Darkwing, Brian Daly, with the greatest look on his face right there. Meanwhile, the sign guy is sitting over there causing all kinds of havoc and chaos, as he usually does.
I forgot to turn my volume up. Causing a ruckus.
This is what happens when you watch videos during break.
I was watching his Instagram video. Good. I'm glad he's gone. I don't like him anyway. I'm sorry.
The hell
Stop
are-
it.
So you're getting a Brodo. Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. This is the look he gives me.
No one cares.
I feel like it's almost like Brodo is just like supposed to be like the guy who's supposed to keep us like on track, and he just keeps looking over at you guys and just like, you motherfuckers, you keep going off track. God damn it! You're supposed to talk about hockey, so fucking talk about hockey. Like,
Seattle
seriously.
Wales wants to know what's up on YouTube. What's up, Seattle
What
Wales?
up, Seattle
man?
Wales?
But
That could be a good name for the expansion team.
No, please, no.
Seattle
The
Whales.
Seattle Orcas.
I don't know. I think people in Hartford would get real pissed at that one. Just saying.
Well, you don't call them the Whales. Call them the Orcas. That would be kind of cool.
I don't know. It's 2019 PC world. People will probably be like, no, because
Save the whales.
If you look in the dictionary, an orca is a whale, so therefore it can't be the Seattle team because we were the Whalers. So therefore, but you do realize the Whalers kill whales, right? Caught you PC prick. Gotcha. Anyway,
Got him.
with that, God, I wish the Whalers were still in the league. It would be really hilarious. But
Yeah, they are.
anyway,
The Carolina Hurricanes.
They wore the jerseys last night.
They did.
Was it last
but
night?
it's okay.
nights
Let's
ago.
not sugarcoat it though. That's kind of fucking dumb. Because
I
like,
loved it.
why would you wear the Hartford Whalers jerseys when you're the Carolina Hurricanes? I get it.
Same
They're
franchise.
iconic, and I know franchise did relocate there, but it's like, then you should have just stayed in Hartford. What the fuck? Anyway, all right. Anyway. This is brought to you by Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030. Email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com.
So plus side,
Sure. We need one.
this week, the comments came up for me. I didn't have to hunt for them.
Yay.
We finally.
You know what? I'll just keep my thoughts to myself.
Well, we're proud of you. We're not upset. We're proud of you, Brian.
Sensational.
You get a gold star. for
See,
the
now,
day.
I wish we had that, but in Tom's voice.
Oh God.
Has Tom ever said sensational?
No.
I
That's
don't
why
think
I
so,
think it
to
would
be
be
honest with
great.
you. No, I don't think he has. I don't know. We'd have to comb through tons of hours worth of A2D content to see if he's.
will be terrified.
That'd be great.
I agree. I agree with Sign Guy. Terrified. Although, it's weird. He seems to have gone through puberty since the break.
Whoa.
Hey, man. It's
His voice
amazing
got-
what happens.
His voice got awkwardly deeper.
It did. He's got a good baritone going on there, man.
Mm-hmm. Sounds
Good.
like that movie guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything is about to change.
Yeah, so about that. I'm not going any further.
Are you?
Hashtag puberty talk.
Oh, birds and bees. Hashtag
Not birds
conception
and bees.
talk.
Hashtag puberty talk. Your body's going to go through changes.
Listen, sign guy, you're at that age, and your body's going to go through some changes. But just to let you know, it's normal, and it's okay. The only person who hasn't gone through it is Mikey over here.
What?
Because he's a penguin, so you know they don't do that.
I have more hair on my chest than you do, buddy.
Got more hair on my chest.
I am so freaking mad! I'm so freaking mad! You guys have officially made me lose my mind!
There's his normal voice.
It's that part-
There it
Damn.
is.
Was that better?
It's that part of the night again, folks.
Oh yes,
But there is one thing that we do need to get through. Cue the music. We got some scores to
we
go
do.
through.
We have some scoring update. All right. Come on, sign guy. Gotta be ready for these things. Damn, we don't have things to stall with. We're not entertaining people. Christ.
you wanna rock,
people
paper,
don't
scissors for
watch
score
this show
updates?
for us. Anyway.
Oh,
I have
never
it
mind, he
ready.
got the music up.
All right. Go.
All right, here we go. We got
Christ.
4 games still going on right now on the West Coast there. We got the Canucks and the Oilers with a 3-2 lead right now to Oilers. About 7 minutes left in the third period. The Coyotes are beating the Flames 2-0 with 3 minutes left in the third period.
Uh-oh. Do we see a prediction coming true?
Hey,
Yotes and Jets in the Western Conference Final, baby.
I was just looking at the standings. With the Coyotes win tonight, they will be 3 points behind a playoff spot.
Well,
So
who knows?
we will see what happens there. The Kings and the Blues are tied at 0 at the end of the first period. We have the Sharks and Canadians. The Sharks are up by 2-1 at the end of the first period. My beloved Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Columbus Blue Jackets
Singularly
3-0. The hated Boston Bruins beat the Florida Panthers 4-3.
Well, not pretty.
The Islanders beat the best team in the league this year, and that being the Ottawa Senators 4-2.
Oh, well, okay. That takes a lot to beat Ottawa. I give them credit.
Game of the night, the Red Wings beat the Rangers in a shootout 3-2.
For control of the bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
Sorry, puck, trophy, or #1 draft pick.
Early President's Trophy curse to I was going to say the Islanders. The Lightning lose to the Minnesota Wild 3-0. Another great game tonight. The Blackhawks beat the Buffalo Sabres 5-4 in a shootout, and the Stars, one of the better teams going forward since deadline, have beat the Avalanche 4-0. And there is your scoring update.
All right, then. So, man, I'll tell you right now, though, what the fuck? Man, after the Flyers beat Buffalo, they deflated big time.
Yeah.
They just absolutely failed and fell flat on their face. I'm like, yes, we can still beat the shit out of somebody. I'm so happy. I love beating Buffalo. There's very few
There was
things-
like a little rivalry back then.
It was,
like
because
in
we would
the-
always meet them in the playoffs. It
Yeah.
didn't matter what the fuck year it was. It'd be like, 1 through 8, and it's always going to be Buffalo and Philly, just like it's
Yeah.
always going to be the Pens and the Caps. It was always going to happen.
Pretty sure Matt Barnaby had a lot to do with that.
Pretty much.
I think
Matt
Rob
Barnaby.
Ray was on that team too.
He was. And that was during the era of the Legion of Doom. So there was a lot of fisticuffs thrown
Dominik
between
Hasek.
those two teams. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
Alexei Zhitnik.
And then, of course,
That was
in
a
the
really
early
good
2000s.
Buffalo. What'd you call me?
Called you a piece of Zhitnik.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Then, of course, we also can't forget the early 2000s when the Sabres had Maxim Afinoganov and Pominville, who was young. Vanek was young at the time. And they had a young goalie. Maybe you've heard of him, Ryan Miller.
Miroslav Shatan.
Oh, God,
On
I
the
forgot
older team.
Shatan.
How do
Yeah.
you forget about Shatan? He's one of the ugliest guys.
No,
Satan played for the Penguins for a short time.
he did for like a
It's like,
season.
what, a year?
I think it
so?
was 2 years, yeah.
Either way, I remember him more when he was on the Islanders, oddly enough.
Shatan?
He was on the Islanders for a short time.
Miroslav.
He was also on Boston, too.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Tom's
know.
face in this video is just way too damn close.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Zoom out.
We got controversy surrounding a Instagram video of Tom Arnone.
Wait a second, what? No, I searched D2 Mighty Ducks. Christy Yamaguchi's is in that movie? What?
Really?
That's what it says.
Yeah, they did it was like the Olympic thing.
Kareem's in this?
Kareem is in it.
Gotta go back and watch it.
Oh, remember the scene in the penthouse when they were having the little party after the photo shoot?
Ah,
Christy Yamaguchi's in it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Luke Robitaille.
great film.
Yes.
Great film.
And then obviously there was a cameo from Wayne
Grr.
Gretzky in when after they won a game. So
Yep.
Actually,
yeah, this is the great one.
I
Yep,
do-
Wayne's fine.
oh yeah. Well, you know what's really funny though is like, hold on, Wayne. I'm pretty sure there's a Canada team. Aren't you Canadian?
Well, at the time the movie was made, he was one of the biggest guys in the NHL, and he was one of the biggest guys
No, I know. I was just
that
joking.
was playing for the Kings at the time. So,
He was playing for the Kings at
who
the
was
time.
the
yeah.
cameo for the first one? The first one was Mike Modano.
Mike Modano.
I want to say Basil McRae and Mike Modano. And then
I think you're correct, but
the third one was Paul Correa.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yes, Paul
Correa
Correa
the
was
third
the
one.
third one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a theme there. I don't know if you picked up on a movie called The Mighty Ducks, and a duck is actually in the
Hall of
Yeah.
Famers. Mike Modano, Hall of Famer. Wayne Gretzky, Hall of Famer. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hall of Famer. Luke Robitaille is going to be a Hall of Famer if he's not already.
Gordon Bombay, Hall of Famer.
Paul Correa, Hall of Famer. Just saying.
Charlie Conway should have been Hall of Famer.
Should have been.
See, how old would he be now? I think he'd still be playing if he was in the real NHL.
Gordon?
No.
No,
Charlie
Conway. Charlie.
Oh, I was gonna say what's
Charlie.
Gordon had the leg injury.
No, he
With
would
the knee
be.
injury, yeah. He became well. Charlie became a coach too.
Well, he did, but he would have still been playing. He probably would be at the end of his career by now.
Yeah.
He'd probably be like
35, 36.
like he would probably be like on like another deal with a team, but getting ready to enter that twilight where he gets the 1-year extensions.
Adam Banks just worrying about the scouts.
Prodigy.
I gotta play, man. The scouts are watching me.
By the way, real quick update: the Atlantic City AFL team finally named their team. It's the Atlantic City Blackjacks.
That's a cool name.
Just thought I'd throw that in there. Just thought I'd come up.
Atlantic City Jacks. Hey,
I know it has nothing to do with hockey,
maybe
but,
I can get a job
No,
there.
had nothing to do
but I
with
mean,
hockey at all.
it's something typical that goes through this show, so I figured I'd bring it up. But
But anyway,
you know, it's in our state. It's relevant.
but at least we were talking about a movie based on hockey. So.
The guy who created the knuckle puck is on SNL now.
Keenan Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's knuckle puck time.
Keenan and Kale.
Oh,
that was
God,
such
that
a
was
good
a great
show.
show.
Don't even tease.
Keenan and Kel. I must drink the orange soda. How do you not love that show? If you don't love that
I
show, you
used to
don't have a
watch
soul.
that show all the time.
Apparently, it's coming back.
Is it?
Not as a remake, but the reruns
It's just
are
like
Ho! Ho!
breaking.
Breaking.
Oh,
Breaking.
hold on.
no way.
Don't spoil it.
Hold on.
Wow.
Oh God, no.
It's my moment.
Come on.
This is what I wanted.
You're failing miserably right now.
Go ahead.
Antonio Brown is closing in on a deal to go to the Buffalo Bills.
What?
What? Holy shit.
AB headed to Buffalo.
Why would you head to a city that has nothing but failure?
He doesn't have a
attached to
choice.
it?
What?
I don't think they're reporting what's heading back his way yet.
Oh,
but
well, we need to figure it out right now.
This is big. End the show. We got to do some. No, I'm kidding. We got 5 more
It needs
minutes.
the other sweeper now.
Holy
Say that again.
for those who are just joining, Antonio Brown is closing in on a deal to head to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it's Rappaport reporting it. So that's
Is it just me, or does all the breaking news happen on niche night here on A2D Radio? It's always Thursday. It's never when the fix is on, which is
I
on
just
Wednesday.
wanna see what they're
never
getting
8
back
in the
for 'em.
PM. Although they did have that fake out on
Also,
8 in
Niners
the
declined the
PM,
option
which
for
was
Pierre
funny.
Garçon.
We did capture our reactions when Harper signed, though. I
Oh,
I
well,
do
then
have the
there's that,
sound
yeah.
of that. So
Yeah,
I mean, at
there's
least it's
that.
half of it.
I wish. I wasn't on for that.
What?
When Bryce Harper. Oh, yeah. Well, that
Okay,
was
so
earlier in the
now
afternoon,
that there
but-
was some news in the football world, I'll give an update on the standings in the NHL. Not that I'm sure most viewers care anymore, because that anytime football news drops, that's it. The
Buffalo.
world fucking
That was
comes
one
to
of
an
the
end.
teams I said to send him to.
Where did they come from? Where did
Listen,
they
if
come
they
from?
came
Upstate
from
New York.
No, you don't.
That's a good one.
That was
Sorry.
petty.
It was easy.
I think that
Put your finger down.
come on, sign guy, don't get mad just because he got you on that one. You got him last week.
You
Come
got me the
on.
last 2 weeks. You got me twice on Best of the Week.
As long as you're willing to admit that.
All right, let me see here. So while you guys are transfixed on the NFL,
Buffalo
world,
has the 9th pick.
Oh, don't you even. I swear to God, if you guys got the 9th pick out of this, I'm upset. And I don't even hate the Steelers, but then I'll be upset.
Listen, I just saw a thing on Instagram from a Steelers page. They're like, okay, the Raiders gave up a 3rd-round pick for Martavius Bryant.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't they give up a 1st round for AB?
Maybe they did.
And they have 3.
No, maybe they did. Maybe the Bills gave up more.
Maybe. Oh my God, stop it!
I'm just saying.
I love.
If we get the
I love
9th
the
pick
sporting news.
in the draft,
Shady McCoy.
No, I don't.
No,
don't
just-
bring-
that's the only guy I know
listen,
over there.
In case you
Listen,
haven't
they got
noticed,
no, but
we-
their
we don't
defense
come
was
from
like
Canada.
second overall in the league, like surprisingly. So
Yeah, nothing's coming out about who's going back to Pittsburgh.
They sent him to Buffalo.
Where career's going to die.
listen, the only thing I'm scared about is if Buffalo uses him to trade to somebody else. That's my biggest fear.
Are they allowed to do that?
I don't
Why
know.
would they do
I don't
that?
think
I don't
they're
know,
allowed to
but
do
that has been my biggest fear through this whole situation is we trade him somewhere and they trade him to a team that the Steelers don't want him to be on.
See, I thought they could only do that with baseball. I thought only baseball could do that because I know the NBA you have like a 60-day trial where you have to wait.
I don't know, but
I mean, this might be
my,
worse.
my
than when-
mind is somewhere else and my body is starting to jitter.
I'm so
Steady
glad
hand.
I'm so glad we can capture this moment right now.
Steady hand.
Stay- So
a
let's
historical
just
day.
let's keep track of this. So on every single show that is all four major sports in Philly, and no news drops.
Nothing.
Yet on Thursday night, when there is nothing but hockey and wrestling talked about, football news drops.
Big football news
I mean,
drop.
no,
How is it that fucking
No.
keeps happening? Like,
Brian, when you said
seriously.
breaking news, I thought it was
How
Le'Veon. I
does
thought
that
it was like,
keep
oh, Le'Veon
happening?
is here. He is here now.
One of the things that Rappaport talked about yesterday was that the Bills GM, Brandon Beans, part of our build was cleaning up the cap, and now we have the money. He said this yesterday in a tweet. So
See, they just went so under the radar because it's the Bills. Nobody was even looking
listen,
at them.
if
What
this is
cap
if
space?
this is
They have
true,
a ton of cap
I mean,
space.
listen,
What's the issue?
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
if Rappaport's reporting this,
yeah, no,
I
it's-
believe it.
it's
'Cause
coming-
Ian
it's-
Rappaport, if it's Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter, I believe
Yeah,
it.
it's not like the John Heyman
It's
Bryce
not.
Harper thing.
Listen,
No,
I'm
no,
not
I
getting.
mean-
I'm getting
No.
updates from all my sports apps on my phone right now saying that AB is heading to Buffalo.
Here, let me check. Where's my phone?
I hope he likes
got
the
it.
cold weather.
and no Super
Oh,
Bowl
Pretty
rings,
sure
but
it's
anyway.
pretty cold in Pittsburgh too.
Well, it's not as cold in Pittsburgh as it is in Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo's
Why?
pretty brutal.
Buffalo is pretty brutal because it's right next to Canada, but you
And
still
also
get pretty
Buffalo-
cold in
let's be
Pittsburgh
honest,
being right
though,
off
all
the
that
Great
lake
Lakes.
But
effect
here's the thing,
snow.
though. Let's be honest. Buffalo is the Siberia of sports. You go there, you do not
Listen,
come back.
It's
you
where
are gone.
careers go to die.
You're
I'm just
gone
worried about the
forever.
return. I obviously for the Raiders to not beat a team, to pull out of that. I want to see what the return is. And
It
it's-
has to be a big return because again, the Raiders were all in this
Yeah, the
afternoon.
Raiders were already saying that they were willing to give up a first round pick.
Mhm. That's what makes me think it's either a player or it's 9
Hey, are there any comments on YouTube by any chance?
about this.
No,
Let's
just
see.
in general. I just want
Oh
to
dear.
I'll look.
Oh David.
Oh, hi YouTube.
Oh David.
I was gonna say, it
Oh,
must be
just
Roscoe.
David. OJ played in Buffalo. Ryan Barretto, A2D Radio.
Thanks for letting me know, Dave.
know. That's it.
What?
What did he say?
Something about
OJ
O.J.
played in
Simpson.
Buffalo.
I'm reading.
People versus O.J. Simpson.
Oh, episode 6.
He said O.J. played in Buffalo, Ryan Brodo. I was like, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, so did Thurman Thomas.
Thanks, bro.
Barry Sanders also played in Detroit. Like this
I'm
is
not gonna be
obvious
able to sleep tonight.
stuff. You're gonna be able to.
I don't
sleep
know why
there.
there's such a delay on the return. I don't understand.
So with that being said,
because it's not exactly
Yeah.
a done deal yet.
okay.
I think they're still.
with all
finagling the other
that
side.
being said, that's your breaking news.
Dum dum da dum.
yeah, let Maddie go through it as we're
yeah, I'm
we're
going to go
playing
through
on
the
the phones.
standings of the NHL since we are the Hockey Happy Hour, and naturally we did get off track because news has to break on a night where it's not supposed to break. But oh well, fuck you, news.
Did I just share
You're a
something
dirty,
from
rotten piece of
24/7
shit. But
Sports?
anyway,
What the fuck's wrong with me?
all right, on to the Metropolitan Division here. Let's
Apparently,
take a look.
their Bills gave up a lower pick, and
We have
for Antonio Brown, and
let's
gave up on
see
Kelvin
here.
Benjamin.
Who the
I
fuck
think he
is Will
misspelled it.
Branson?
Wait, what? Say it
Brinson.
again. Say it again, Bry.
Will Brinson's reporting that there's a decent chance the Bills gave up a lower pick for Antonio Brown that they gave up for Kelvin Benjamin. Whatever the hell that means. I'm not sure what that means.
You're about to be upset.
I am big time now.
Go ahead, Maddie.
Okay.
And then there's David Irving.
Never mind.
Okay, so anyway, in the East, at the Metropolitan Division, we have the New York Islanders leading the way. Washington is in second. Pittsburgh is in third. And in the Atlantic, we have Tampa Bay leading the way. What a shocker. Boston is second. Toronto is third. And the wild card matchups are Carolina and Montreal. So if the playoff matchups were to start today, we have the New York Islanders, who are the second away in points. They
kinda
would
funny.
be challenging the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, that's an odd matchup.
Hurricanes and the Montreal Canadiens are going to be the teams that the Flyers need to catch up with.
Well, yes, but the Islanders, if the playoffs started today, the Islanders would actually draw the Carolina Hurricanes in the match. Tampa would draw Montreal. So it'd be two divisional matchups in the wild card matchups. And then Washington would face you guys.
No, not a first round.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
2
no,
and
no, I'm talking
3.
hockey.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, 2 and 3 in the division. That was
All right, who dropped it? Where is it?
And meanwhile, in the Atlantic, 2 and 3 would be Boston and Toronto. So I'm just going to throw this out there on that. I think the Islanders would probably beat Carolina. No offense to Carolina, but I think the Islanders would beat them. Even if
I think that would wind up being a 7-game series.
It would be.
Carolina's
It'd
been
be-
playing really good.
It'd be one of those sleeper series that'd be fun. Let's see. Tampa would beat Montreal unless Cam Ward managed to snag 4 straight games from Tampa. But I mean, Cam Ward, Carey Price, but Carey is still only human, so I'm gonna go with Tampa on that one. Let's see here, Washington and Pittsburgh.
Think Pittsburgh gets them.
I think Pittsburgh does take revenge. How about you, Mikey?
For what?
Pittsburgh and
Pittsburgh
Washington.
and Washington.
Well, I mean, they do need a revenge series now, but that's a tough one. For this year anyway, I personally do believe that although the Washington Capitals have not been consistent either, I wouldn't say the Capitals, I would say Holtby. Holtby hasn't been consistent this season. I still think right now they could beat a better team. I think the series could go 7 though.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
for
it
sure.
definitely is going 7. There's no doubt about it. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on that one. I just think that the way that Washington's been playing, they've been kind of streaky. I'm like, ooh, you're asking to get your ass kicked by Pittsburgh in the first round if you're doing that, because you can't be a hot and cold team and not go into the playoffs and expect to be able to beat your hated rival in the first round. You just can't do it. All right, let's see here. Boston and Toronto. I'll say Toronto in this one.
I would say Boston.
All right.
I think I would go
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah, there's something about the Maple Leafs.
Boston
They're
and-
kind of they're slowing up here.
Boston and 6.
I don't know. I feel like Boston would kind of, you know how Pittsburgh would be able to take revenge on Washington, and Washington's just kind of in a lull because they won the cup last year. I would say Toronto and Boston's kind of different. I think Boston, they're kind of going in expecting to win. I think Toronto is going in wanting to win. So I think it's kind of a different feel for both teams. Because let's be honest here, Boston is a very arrogant organization, in case anyone's figured that one out by now. I think they would probably get shocked here by Toronto. Upset's going to happen. I think it would be Toronto and
up.
Boston.
I'm done. I give up. They're not posting the return. I don't think the deal's been agreed on completely. They agreed enough to send AB to Buffalo.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm reading right here. So the Bills are closing in on a deal for blah, blah, blah. The terms of the agreement have yet to be leaked, but the Steelers were reportedly seeking a first-round pick in trade negotiations. Bills own a 9th overall pick in the 2019 draft, but could be sending their 2020 pick, which could be presumptively less value with Brown in the fold for another year with Josh Allen. So,
Not
Mr.
bad.
Big Chest, we'll see what happens. Listen, obviously a first round this year would be better because I don't think they'd be the 9th worst team next year. But as long as it's a first round pick, I'm okay with what happens. Obviously this year would be better, but
Yeah, obviously.
we'll see.
Yeah, nothing's good. I'm not seeing anything.
This
new.
is too much stress on me right now, okay?
It's really hard to be a Steelers fan right now, apparently.
It is! We're losing our best wide receiver and our best running back in the same season.
still got Ben
So
Roethlisberger.
what? You got Sidney Crosby to keep you warm. So what are you upset about?
gotta make the playoffs first.
You're
Okay.
going to, so don't worry about it. You got it in the bag. I keep saying that and hoping that it will counteract. Just letting you guys know.
I need to know what's going on here.
All right.
I just want another return.
What? What was the fake?
It was LaShawn McCoy. That's why I reacted like, oh my god, I called it. But it was fake.
I
Actually,
would be pissed. I would be fucking pissed.
I just realized something. So
if LaShawn McCoy for AB, yes.
It's better than like a third round. Never mind.
I want a first round. I'd rather gamble with a
Don't
first
get
round
greedy
pick.
now.
Look how
Don't you
mad he
get
got
greedy.
on that one. He got so
Bring in
pissed.
3 years, 38.9 million or something like that. Broken down.
Hey, I
to
mean,
like
look at it this way. Colt
15 this
Oh,
year.
the
Listen.
Seattle Whales are back on YouTube.
Shady
Oh, yeah?
has the
Hey,
upside
Seattle.
of getting into a fight with a police officer.
Let's see what you said, Seattle.
What?
He has a chance to get into a fight at a nightclub.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh, very
So I'm
good.
just
His
saying.
chances are as likely as Claude Giroux grabbing the ass of a police officer.
Yeah, that's
too,
true.
so.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hey,
Matty.
listen though. Hey, there's a difference between saying "good game" to a
Yeah,
to
sorry,
a cop
Seattle.
and then
We had some
wanting
major
to
news
kill
in the
a cop.
NFL. Kind of took over the show.
Yeah.
You guys, so hockey, huh?
Yeah.
No, he
So
said-
we did the
Not
usually-
tonight.
This, well, he's not in the last 10 minutes.
Not in the last 10 minutes because news has to drop on the
Things
night
happen.
where none of the shows
Things
that talk
have
about
happened.
football. But anyway, West. Okay, so the Western Conference. Let's see here. Central Division. Nashville leads the way. Winnipeg's right behind them. St. Louis in third. St. Louis came right the fuck out of nowhere this year. The Pacific, Calgary is leading the way. San Jose is behind them, and the Golden Knights. That division has not changed for like a good month. It's been the same since it for like forever.
No, that's a very tough division to play in.
It is, but by Christ, I have not seen San Jose or Calgary or Vegas trade any spots at all this year in the Pacific.
And that's fine. Let Nashville take that first spot.
Yeah. So
I don't care.
let's see here. Dallas
Not my
and
division.
Minnesota are the current wild cards. Colorado's at 70, Arizona's at 69. So
I think Dallas will finish as one of those wild cards, if not sneaking into a third spot.
I think it's going to wind up being Dallas and actually, I think it's going to be Colorado.
if Dallas
Taking out
sneaks
Minnesota?
in, if Dallas sneaks into third place, then St. Louis is coming out, and they'll be a wild card. But
It's where careers go to die.
hey, look at it this way: if the Sabres have taught us anything about Buffalo and the Bills' consistent loss in Super Bowls, it says one thing. You're going for the money. You're not going for any other fucking reason.
I mean,
Well, he's got 3 years left on his contract.
Yeah,
so
but
whatever
that-
money
but
he was
that's
making
the
in
thing,
Pittsburgh,
though.
he's going to make in
He's
Buffalo.
he's gonna extend. I think is what the whole goal is to extend and make it a fully guaranteed contract, and that's one of the big issues
well,
that he
maybe-
faced was that his contract wasn't fully guaranteed.
But then again, maybe he also
So-
wanted to join the tailgates with the Buffalo Bills fans.
do you blame him?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Speaking of Bills fans, I mean those streets are on fire right now.
Oh yeah,
With how nuts they are with the tables.
yeah,
They might be going through flaming tables. Right
yeah. Well, was
Going
I
to
mean, that-
slamming cables, having sex with each other out in the front yards. Lord knows what they're doing.
now. Okay. Goodbye.
I just need the fucking return here.
A part of me just wants to actually go to a football game
feel
in
like I made
Buffalo
it awkward.
just to watch the pandemonium in the
some
front.
things?
I don't even want to go to the actual game. I don't want to go inside and watch
just
the
said-
Bills. I just want to see what happens in the tailgate and then leave.
My boy
That's
said,
all I want to do.
He goes, "Damn, you called it." Because I was like, I hope they send him to the fucking Bills.
That's equivalent to when Popovich sent freaking Kawhi out of the country.
Yeah.
True. To Toronto. I had to
Yeah,
think
how
about that
terrible
for
that
a
is
quick
for him.
second.
Wait a minute. What?
Because the only Canadian team in the league, Toronto, Popovich sent Kawhi Leonard to Toronto for DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, because
There
of
was a
how
team in
terrible that wound
Toronto?
up for
When the
Kawhi.
fuck did this happen?
Years.
Damn it, Maddie. Damn it.
I don't know anything.
He
about
doesn't
know.
watch basketball.
I
We
know.
gotta.
Damn it.
I know.
Wait a minute. Was it basketball or? Oh, it was Oh, duh. I forgot the Raptors. Duh.
All right, stop giving me all this contract crap and give us a
Anyway.
return.
So while you're still looking up that, let me see here.
Let me know when you guys are. I think we're just waiting for the return. Never mind. Go ahead, Manny. I'm sorry.
So next, let's see here. With the wild card setup, Nashville would draw the Dallas Stars, and Calgary would draw Minnesota. Okay.
Ian
Calgary
Rappaport-
would kill him.
Calgary would probably win that series against Minnesota.
Ian Rappaport is saying that there's still things that need to be worked out. The deal's not completely finished yet.
It's gonna be a while, isn't it? Probably.
They wanted him out by Friday.
No, I mean when I mean a while, I mean like
They had his bags
After
packed
we're
and
off the
everything.
air.
Holy shit.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
2 minutes.
Okay. So let's see here.
2 minutes.
I got let's see here. Minnesota and Calgary. Calgary's winning that series. Nashville versus Dallas. I'm going to go Nashville.
Yeah. Nashville for
same.
sure.
No upset from the wild cards here. Let's see here. Winnipeg and St. Louis. This one will actually probably be a lot of fun. Because St. Louis is a feisty team, so they'll try and fight Winnipeg with everything they got, but Winnipeg will win at the end of the day.
Getting saucy.
And then let's see here. Sharks and Golden Knights. The Golden Knights will beat the Sharks.
With the way they're playing right now, absolutely. They're playing the best hockey they've played all year.
Yeah,
They're back to being that team after the Mark Stone deal.
that's not going to be fun for any team in the West to deal with them. But yeah, Golden Knights would upset the Sharks, if you can call that an upset. I really wouldn't. And that's how the first round is currently looking. The only teams that are close to wild card positions are Columbus and Philly. However, Columbus is at 77 points, and the Flyers are well behind that at 72. So right now it's just Columbus threatening. And in the West, the teams that are threatening for wild card spots at 70 is Colorado, and then at 69 is Arizona. So a little bit of a disparaging, but a little bit closer in the West than it is the East, because there's really only one team in the East right now that's truly threatening, and that is Columbus at this time.
I kind of hope Arizona makes it.
Just so that that prediction will come true between the Coyotes and the Jets in the Western Conference Finals.
That would be pretty awesome.
So let me just throw that out there, just for the fuck of it. So if the Coyotes did get that second wild card spot, let me
I don't have a Twitter.
let me show you guys what would happen. If the Coyotes got that second
Yes.
wild card spot, they would have to face off with the Calgary Flames. So if they got in there, they would have to beat Calgary. And say, just for shit's
Pretty
sake,
good.
so they would beat Calgary. The second round, they would face the Vegas Golden Knights, and they would beat Vegas. So then Winnipeg would get through the Central, and that's how they would get to the Western Conference Finals if they were to do that.
Well, here's the problem. That's good. I really love that series, and I think it's going to be really good, especially after last night's game. I think Vegas is back to being that team they were last year. They're just flat out scary.
I'm just saying, though, the ridiculousness of the idea that the Coyotes would get to the Western Conference Finals, because I just broke down who they'd have to beat. They'd have to beat Calgary, and then they'd have to beat Vegas.
I mean, you never know what happens, but I'm just saying.
Nah,
If you get past Calgary, I doubt they're going to get past Vegas.
if they got past Calgary, it would officially be that moment where we would realize Calgary is doomed to never win another Stanley Cup in their history, because you cannot lose to the Arizona Coyotes with that team. You can't. It's impossible. Physically impossible.
Crazier things have happened.
This is Arizona, but all right, we'll go.
Crazier things have happened.
All right. So that will do it for, believe it or not, the Hockey Happy Hour.
Not the last 15.
Yeah. If you were expecting hockey talk in the second half, the news said, "Fuck you, hold my beer, I got something to show you." And
I'm not going to be all
totally
right.
took over.
I'm literally not going to be able to sleep. Thanks. And your mic wasn't on, just so you know.
No, it's
Now it's on.
yeah, now it's on.
Come on, Mr. Big Chest.
Just listen.
What did we get
no,
for you?
I don't dye my mustache. Whatever the hell he did to the mustache,
God.
Who does that?
Mr. Big Chest.
Mr.
Apparently.
Big Chest.
Okay.
It's like a walrus.
Should have a cartoon character of Mr. Big Chest and just have him sit here on the front desk. But anyway, all right. That will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. This was brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accounts located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300.
champion feels like.
Been there.
But, and also by Skins Down Sports Center located at 5 Carnegie Plaza, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.skinsdownsports.com. This has been the Hockey Happy Hour on A2TRadio.com. I'm Matt Cincinnati. That's the Darkwing Brian Daly, who is not malnourished this week. And
I wasn't 2 weeks ago.
yes, you were. Your stomach said so. Behind the board is our sign guy conducting the chorus right now.
An orchestra.
Oh, yeah. Fuck it. I don't care. Anyway, over here is the Penguin lover, Michael Klankov, who is panicking
I am big
and
time
is
panicking.
getting ready to go into a rubber room. But anyway, that'll do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week. Same time, same channel. You don't have to go far. But from all of us here, we thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week on A2TRadio.com.
Deuces.